Hey, good morning. It's Geezer. We're in the middle of a COVID still. We're actually going to make this mask, put it to good use in a few minutes for what it really should be used for. But for now, let's just get rid of it. All right, we're going to talk today about how to retape a rim. Sadly, this new tire has a stick with about almost an inch tear. They went through it, and I noticed right after it punctured, besides spraying the stands or the sealant out of here, it was also spraying it out of the spokes, which means it tore the tape up. So I promised to do a video on how to retape. Since I got to put a new tire on anyway, we'll go ahead and tear this off and we'll go from there. If you haven't already done this, put it, see where you're at in the gears. You don't want that right in the middle of your cassette. Go ahead and work it all the way down. For those of you who haven't pulled wheels very often, all the way down as far out to the highest gear you have, the smallest tooth. All right, it makes it easier to put back on. If you haven't done it already, these have clutches. See right there, the clutch is disengaged. It moves real easy. It's engaged, it won't hardly move. So before you do this, also disengage your clutch. So now the clutch is disengaged. Okay, if you got a quick release, do your quick release like your normal. I have a through axle, so I'm gonna spin my through axle out. They shouldn't be over tight. Okay, pull my axle, lay it down so it doesn't get dirty. And this is why you want to release your clutch. So when you come over here, you can open this puppy up and get it out without hassle. Real easy, just like that. There we go. Done. Go ahead and remove your core. Valve stem remover.
Show it again.
Valve stem remover, come over here. Spin your core out because you want to have, put it so you don't lose it. Place it someplace you won't lose it. And mine are, I just keep mine not much more than finger tight, my valve stems. I'll just make sure it's loose. The next thing we need to do is peel the tire off the rim. Everybody knows what these are, quick little tire tools. There we go, break the bead. Better to break it all the way around if you can before you start. It makes it a little easier. Right there. When I say break the bead, when you seal a tire, it sticks on the rim right there really tightly. It beads up is what they call it. See how it's a real tight seal? And they actually got to tear off. And when it breaks off, it breaks away from the bead. It makes them, there we go, that broke. And this is obviously tubeless. After you get it completely broken all the way around, then you want to peel it off. Just put the tool under it, pull it up. Some of these you can do by hand, some you can't. Turn it around, and there we go. Okay, next.
Oh my, look at that.
Oh, there's my stick. Look at that. Now that we've got that done, we'll make sure again the bead's broken all the way around. It makes the tire come off a lot easier. Oh, look at that. Okay, now we got it off. All right, so here we go. Yeah, it tore up the tape. I figured it did. Reach on the tire on this side, same side. It's because it's got to come off. You can run it around. I'm just going to peel it. It's a lot easier to grab it and yank it. There we go. Tire is off. Okay.
Where's the stick? Oh, it's still in the tire.
Still in the tire. A second. Look at that, and I got huge hands, folks. I wear a size 14 ring. Look at that puppy. I think I definitely understand why I got a flat today. All right, pause. Let me get a rag. Well, that's a goner and something that does tear up rim tape. So that's done. So next thing, that's why I pre-loosen the valve stem. Be sure to take your stem off before you remove any of the tape. Now actually if you're taping a rim for the first time, it's a little easier than the second time, only because things should be a lot cleaner. But there we go. It should be a lot cleaner and easier to do. Take my stem out and save it. First thing I'm gonna do is give it a quick, just remove part of the excess off of here so we're not working with such a mess of the stands. Okay. And if you notice, I like putting carpet under my rims. It protects them when you're working. It's just a personal thing, but it really does protect the rims. And there you go, right there. Their valve stem is right there. There's my valve stem. And as I suspect, it was leaking at the spoke. There's the puncture where the stick went through. So then let me talk about diagnostics. If you get leakage around your spoke, that is a 100% authoritative fact that whoever taped your rims did not tape them right, or the rims tape is not holding. Because the only way the air can get to the spokes if it gets under the rim tape. So as soon as I saw that this spoke right here was leaking, I knew definitively that the tape was torn up, so I'd had to retape this rim. Yes, you can patch the rims and patch tape, but I don't believe in doing that. If you're gonna do the right, you know, we ride these bikes. If you're gonna do it, let's do it right. First time, every time. You never have to worry about it. Okay. So we're just gonna strip the old tape off. And that we gotta clean. Okay, that's off. And this tape left the goo behind, which is gonna make it challenging right there. See it? That's part of the tape. And this was not double tape, folks. This is just what was left behind. So I was gonna say, a fresh tape's a lot easier to do than a second tape. Okay. Finish getting all this off so we have a clean rim to work with. And it is kind of difficult sometimes. Okay, I'll come back in just a minute with you. Go ahead and pause it. That is nasty goo left behind.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Okay. Okay.
Alcohol?
Let me go turn the video back on. Where's my alcohol?
Right there.
Okay. And now's the fun part of this. We're just going to take alcohol. Something's real important, guys. When you are doing this, don't let anything with petrochemicals get on the inside of this rim, because petrochemicals will melt solvent, which means your tape won't stick long term. It'll let go. So as I'm doing, I'm just trying to clean this up. You want this rim to look factory new on the inside. See how pretty that is? That's what it's gonna look like when we're finished all the way around. So we'll scrub for a while and scrub for a while, and more alcohol, some more scrubbing. Most people right now are tempted to say, all right, good enough, and go, we wiped it, we've wiped it, we've wiped it, and taped it. I've seen that happen a lot with guys. And when they do that, they inevitably have rims that leak. So don't do that. All these little stuff, like where the stands is up here in the joints, go ahead and get it all out. I'm seriously, get this rim to factory new on the inside. If you don't, you won't be happy with your results. Do it once and don't redo it again unless you have something like I did, a stick tear it up. So anyway, I'm just gonna keep working this for a while. When I get done, I'll show you what it looks like. This is kind of boring. I'm sure you're not real excited about watching me scrub a rim. So that's what we're gonna do.
There we go.
Here's the little pieces that got left behind. And if you leave these on there and don't clean it really clean, these little pieces of tape or on the rim will really make them leak. So that'll cause problems. So make sure when I clean them, like I said, make sure it's clean. It's a little bitty piece of tape that was left behind. You don't want anything left on these rims. We have a little residual stands. You can barely see it running right through there. So what I'm doing, using just a soft wire brush, I'm going down the inside of the bead area of the rims, just like that, going against the bead. just to make sure where the tire beads, that there is no old dried up latex from the previous sealant. I use stands, like I said, orange solvent, whatever you use, it don't matter. But I clean up that bead really clean, because I don't want leaks. There's another piece right there. See, there's a little piece of that string where this has got to come out right there. I'll get that out. It's right there. You can see it coming across that little piece. I'm just going to lift it out so we can grab it, not touching the rim with the sharp part. And there it is. You don't want any of that, particularly around spokes. That'll make them leak. Okay, come back to you with more information as I run into it.
Okay.
I've been scrubbing on this for a while and I've got it pretty close to ready. But what I'm noticing, there's a couple of spots, like right here, it's still rough and I can't get it. If you got a really bad spot, I'll just use Scotch-Brite real lightly. Remember, Scotch-Brite's basically a real fine sandpaper, so don't go overboard, just enough just to see the stuff right there pile up. Just a quick little hit, real lightly go over it, and that'll take any place where there's like where there's a little bit on the tape. See, there's a little right, let's find out this spot just needs a little attention. Right there, it's got a little nasties right there, see those? I know it doesn't look like much, but I like to, right there. It doesn't look like much, but I like my rims factory clean when I use them. There's another spot right there. See, I take all this out. You finally found a really good use for these masks. Here we go. This is what a mask is made to be used for. And we're using alcohol, so we're using it for medically sanitizing and everything. Alcohol in a mask. I mean, how much more COVID could I be? This is COVID compliant, alcohol and a mask. So those of y'all who said, those people would tell you that biking is a super spreader and stuff, you can tell them we use alcohol together with masks to make sure that we keep stuff good and sanitized. Okay. Anyway, so there we go. We're gonna go over that now. And see, look at this rim. This little spot right there, we'll get that out. Don't want any of that right there. We're getting any of the dust from the thing off. There's a nice rim stripe when I got a flat. Isn't that beautiful? Yuck. And this rim looks just about factory new on this side. There's nothing in any of the seams where it beads. There's no trash left behind in the center, which is really important. You want to pay really close. Like I said, it's a little bit rough right there still, so I'm actually going to, I don't like that. There, a little right now, that's completely clean. And that's where you want to pay really special attention around the valve stem. Your valve stem is the hole. Make sure you're really clean in this area right here, because if you don't, you'll get valve stem leaks every time. Okay, we're done with that. Wait for it to dry. After it dries out, we'll show you how to tape the rim. Okay, it's Geezer again. Another side note, you got it tore down, guys. Your wheel's off. Anytime you take your wheel off, go ahead and spend some time. Clean up your cassettes, use a soft wire brush, a little bit of cleaning solution. If you use a degreaser, make sure you don't get it over into the bearings. That would be really bad. I just use a little alcohol, put it on the brush periodically, and just while you're doing this, you got it tore down, you might as well take care of that expensive drivetrain anyway while you're here. It only takes a few seconds to maintain it. You got good access to it, so just a do or don't, but I always do. It's just worth it. I like my cassettes to look new and fresh. Not because looking new and fresh is good, because it makes the chains last longer. Keeps you from tearing, you know, makes everything last longer as you take care of your bike, you know. You don't have to wash your bike, but anything that's rolling and moving with bearings, make sure you keep it clean. Particularly chains. You'll be shocked how fast you'll tear a chain up if you don't maintain it. And again, just take a few moments to do this.